For Saints fans, there are two schools of thought when it comes to breaking down the Jimmy Graham trade. You either think it was the worst decision since Aaron Brooks' check down in San Diego,
Jimmy, please come back to us.
Or you're cool with it. Me, I'm a dreamer, an optimist. I'm cool with it.
Saints sent Jimmy Graham to Seattle, and they pieced this all together, and they're finalizing that trade.
But for all those hoodats on the other side of the fence, here are 3 reasons why the 2015 Saints offense will be better without Jimmy Graham. First off, the Saints need to find a way to achieve more balance, especially in the red zone. In 2014, when the Saints got into the scoring zone, Jimmy Graham got 21 of 64 targets. That's nearly a third of the Saints' passing game inside the 25 going straight to Jimmy Graham. Sounds limiting, right? Well, New Orleans was 7th in the league last year in red zone scoring percentage, so the strategy worked. Well, in 2015, there will be no number 80 to call on. So my first charge to Sean Payton is to spread it around in an effort to regain the appearance of balance on offense. But how do you do that? You get creative. Work in variances to keep opposing defenses from getting comfortable. And most importantly, keep the ball. Possession keeps our defense off the field. Now last season, the Saints opened the game with more than one run just 3 times. Yet if you check the numbers, they were successful moving the ball in each of those games. And last season, the Saints ran a no-huddle, hurry-up version of their offense outside of the 2-minute drill situation just twice. Once again, both times, they were successful moving the ball. Now those folks are called variances. They worked in 2014, and the Saints must employ this strategy more liberally in 2015 if they want to have success. Now, there was a time when Sean Payton was considered the best offensive mind in football. Well, it's time we tapped into that mind again. Payton's offensive resume features 2 scoring titles and 1 runner-up. Now, the 2 titles were pre-Jimmy Graham. I'm just saying it's possible the Saints can move the ball without number 80. Because Sean Payton, well, knows how to get the ball to the right people at the right time. Remember Superdome Special?
Going to give it to him on an end around. He gives it to Devery Henderson in reverse. Brees throws a ball in, and Henderson's to the goal line, and he is in!
How about this play from the 2014 season?
Sam Shields. We'll see a lot of House tonight. We'll also see a lot of Brandin Cooks who goes in for the touchdown.
Now I know, for every good there is a bad.
There's no reason for a call like that to put...
And I'm not asking for the Saints to become a gimmick team. But I do think Sean Payton can do just enough tinkering to make the defense think twice about where we're attacking from. Okay, so we need balance, we need flair. Finally, we need to find some guys who can execute the plan. In 5 years, Jimmy Graham compiled 386 catches as a Saint. Those catches went for 4,752 yards and 51 touchdowns. It's hard to replace that kind of production with just one guy. But then again, with that one guy, the Saints were 7-9. So I'll give you reason for optimism. I think we still have the right guy under center. FootballOutsiders.com broke down incomplete passes from the 2014 season. Yeah, I know, nerd alert. But in addition to shedding light on how bad Cleveland and Tennessee quarterbacks were last year, the study highlighted how accurate Drew Brees was in what many considered to be a down year. All 3 of his primary wide receivers had an uncatchable pass rate around 13%. Now, the same study also showed that only 18% of Jimmy Graham's passes were uncatchable, which was in the bottom third of his fellow tight ends. In plain English, what I'm saying is Jimmy Graham put up big numbers because Jimmy Graham got thrown a lot of passes, a lot of catchable passes. If you take into account his ability to beat coverage or his drops, I'll be the one who says it, Jimmy Graham sure looks average. He's just had the best assist man in the game since 2010. Alright, now to statistically and sufficiently replace Jimmy Graham, the Saints need to replace about 133 targets next year. Oh, and 81 of those targets need to be successful plays. So where does the production come from? Well, who knows? I don't call the plays, I don't run practice. But I do like these 3 guys to have career years. CJ Spiller, Brandon Cooks, and Mark Ingram. And folks, they better be good, because despite what my stats just said and what we all saw on tape from this past year, Jimmy Graham has banked a lot of credibility in the league. Full disclosure, as a fan of the team, I was done with Jimmy Graham after this play. But there is no doubt in my mind the Seahawks got a great player. But they didn't get what makes the Saints offense great. So for every one of these, there seemed to be one of these. For being our best offensive weapon, Jimmy Graham was sure frustrating. Let's just hope that life without him is not.